Hello and welcome to Jorgy's Stripping the Dipping, and this is your unusual host, Georgina Donna, with you. And today we have this amazing person of the podcast that we are looking forward to having a very, very, very unusual chat because this person is, well, basically, if you are watching Formula One or whatever the motor races on TV, then this particular person plays a huge part on that. So, without further ado, let me warmly welcome the cameraman, Andrea Garbin. How are you?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
Well, having a very fun night tonight, and I hope that this whole conversation will be fun as well. So, let me ask you the first question. Please tell us who exactly you are and what you do in motor racing industry.
Okay, great. So first of all, more than motorsport, I only work for Formula One motorsport. I started 10 years ago
Mm-hmm.
for Italy, and then after 2 years, so it's here now, I switched to Formula One. That is the company that own and host all the Formula One events and the broadcasting and all the content that are produced. Is a bit unique in the motorsport because normally the owner of of the sport is a company, then there is a production company, the production company, but Formula One is doing by itself. So it's a bit unusual, but it was very good.
So, how did you get the opportunity of actually joining Formula One as a cameraman?
2013, Sky Italy started to host the Formula One after a few years of break, and they build up teams with a lot of tech. They want to start big, and my first contact with the F1 motorsport inside. It was a fancy in the years before, and once I was there, I did how one hosted and produced by the, and then I simply switched from Sky to them via my. It's a bit unusual. I'm not a television cameraman. I usually don't television. Also, what I do is not only television. The company with a huge variety of that was my previous background that from before is to be a photography about documentary.
Mm-hmm. So, have you ever dreamed about becoming a cameraman? So, what was it? What made you become a cameraman? What made you become a cameraman? Why did you become a cameraman? Like, did you always want to be someone like that?
To be honest, it was unusual things because at university I was studying culinary. That was a completely different things. Even if I always had the for photography. Sorry.
This is a complete different industry, veterinary and
Exactly. And the photography has always been that I had, even if I was, I started to make a course of photography and I was developing my films at home in clouds, and I had a lot of course skill process about photography, but I never talked about it. And so it happens in an unusual way to explain. But basically, I started to do during the university specific course about the post-production.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the post-production, I came in touch with the crew. So even to work in the post-production, I already with the crew. We are talking about 97 and 98. I found that my area to produce the images and not to post-produce. So I started to doing all the courses for camera and after director of photography. I developed from there and constant.
So, what were your early childhood memories regarding motor racing and cars and all that? related to vehicles?
Yeah, it started in the late 89, 90.
Mm-hmm.
As all
Mm-hmm.
the Italian people and my friends, we are very passionate about one, and we were at home, always meeting in a lot of people to start to spend the whole Sunday, like the Friday for the testing and the qualify. In some of the friends, maybe one weekend is my house, one weekend is spending the weekend together from morning of Friday, just everything that was related to the race, reading the newspaper, simulator in the PC to simulate the that we were going to see. 24 license, thanks to the passion that we had for following and the TV. I started to do rally drive because
Wow.
I can't afford to do the track. And so the rally, then I started also with the passion of rally. I still very much in this life. Yeah, so after the late Formula One and to my friend that introduced me to the environment, in television, Ferrari, religion in Italy, as you can imagine, from the but thought that I would have become to work inside. Now it seems so normal, but at the beginning I would never thought that.
So do you think what do you ever think, like, okay, now you work inside Formula One itself, but have you ever even dreamt that you would in the future would work in Formula One when you were having all these rally drivings and the interest in motor racing and all that?
Honestly, no, because I always see in television that is related to broadcasting the race. Not very interesting in the things of doing broadcast of the race or something like that, because my my environment is to do more wide production that involved a lot of the knowing inside. So I Formula One is such a company producing so many content. So looking at races at the TV, I didn't desire to go to just the car on.
Yeah.
We know that was a company, but I never known that so much inside. Also because in Italy, we limited the race, reading newspaper. So it's just in the last 15 years, we can say that the content has started to spread so wide. Social media, internet,
Yeah.
many more platforms. The noise that F1 produces not only for F1, F2, F3, F4, and then they produce a lot of documents about producing content for the country we go, himself, for a very huge that is covering everything that is related, not only about the of all series of one, but also for promoters, for the teams itself. So it's beautiful because you are 100% inside the aspects that of the Formula One. It's like a
So you learn a lot through all these experiences.
yeah, very a lot. Probably just I saw 5%.
So what sort of a pressure does a cameraman has when the whole race is up and running during the live telecast, the broadcast?
Yeah, so we must specify because we are divided in department because it's such a huge
Mm-hmm.
things that is, for example, the live team that I'm not in the live team are the people that follow the race on track since morning
Mm-hmm.
to the very evening. They never move from their position because you can imagine we start 2 hours before every session because they need to test everything to be in position. We are talking about more than 30 cameras plus the RF plus the helicopter. And so that is a kind of production. Then I'm part of the creative media and post-production team. And we are
Mm-hmm.
working during the session a bit helping the live, and a bit just producing arty or more creative content on the track and outside the track. For example, I don't know if you ever watch, I think so, F1 race, but during the race, yeah, during the race, sometimes, for example, in the pit lane, you see images a bit different from the live that are slowed and come as a replay.
Yeah.
That was, for example, what I was doing in Bahrain last week. That is called RF6 and is the sixth RF that is in the pit lane. 5 are from the live, 1 for every 2 teams. So they just cover first 2 teams, then the other 2. So they moved from one garage to the other very near. And then there is a 6th one that is from my team that is moving all the pit lane, trying to capture different content. He's live because he's connected, but we decide what to shoot, and what to replay. So in terms of creativity, where to go, try to follow the stories.
Yeah.
And we replay back. So we are the touch, but we also serve the live team outside of the session. There are a lot of morphing that must be produced. A lot of interviews, some interviews or longer with cameras, produce the content also to the broadcaster, because all produce go inside the big server, we can call, where the broadcaster what they need. And those example, certainly, Drive to Survive, the series.
Yeah.
A lot of the comments from our crew. So we with we can't. They are not so much. They follow the background we shoot, so they follow us and the back, and then they produce their own content and team. But they only have 2 crew. Everything else is taken from.
Oh, okay. That we didn't actually know. We thought all the footages and all the recordings and all the stuff from Drive to Survive is done by Netflix. We didn't know that it was actually the footages that you guys record, and they're taking it from you guys.
Especially from the first 2 seasons, a lot of the content was our content. Now in this last series, they are producing more. But anyway, I can say we can split 50% is taken from F1 Insight, so from all our job, and the rest they produce by themselves.
So how does this whole schedule work for you, right? Every single season, they will be announcing that for the next year, this is going to be the schedule for the whole races. But do you guys also get a separate schedule, and do you have to go for every single race, or do you have a particular races that you will be attending and some of the races you want?
Yeah, so in the post-production, we are all contractors, so we don't attend all the season, but there are some person that are more involved. For example, me and the other 2 or 3 guys share at least season, and others go from 4, 5, 6, or 7 races. In my crew department, we are 6 camera, and the schedule is done just the week of the race. So we try to share our position, not to do all the same things, all the same races, just to change the styles and to provide and to mix everything. So we just know, for example, the camera that I told you before is something that go from Thursday to that never change, but only the race if you are doing that camera or not. Everything else, we have a daily schedule that is given to us the evening before for the day after. There are many to cover, and a lot that also happened since with a V1 that just 2 days already at the or we change with the time of interview guests that will become later or are before, or some that is the must order something that team to be in that. So we have a open to change during all the.
So let me ask you a different question. What are the mistakes that you have done during the Formula One racing cameras, and how did you overcome those issues?
You know, interesting question, because I was thinking last week if I have a big mistake, but at the moment, no idea. No, I'm pretty sure no big mistake. But for example, mistake, but no. So I just did it at the end of the race because you what I do as like that camera is to.
Oh, I think we lost Andrea. Let me see if we can get him back. Okay, so we have Andrea back again with us. So yes, okay. So what's the small mistake that you did during the whole telecast?
Yeah, it happened just last Sunday at the end of the F1 race. Because one of the most important things that we provide with that position is the end of the race when the drivers arrive, the winning in this case, Verstappen stand in front of you, and obviously reaction. So play back in a very nice mood. It's like when you have the in the background, so you find your 20s car and running to his mate, to the teams, congratulates, etc.
Yeah.
And obviously it's very emotional, especially in slow motion in races. Before that race, run to have all his mechanics running on the fences for his last lap. You know, they go outside the fences, they hail to him, etc. So I had to squeeze my camera, that is pretty big because with long lens, battery, so it's pretty huge. Move it outside the fences in one small gap, and hold it out to look at the camera, because you are on basically on the at their faces, and I touched the left side that usually you see when you have your shoulder, not when you move. That was the switch that changed the frame rate. So I swap it, looking at it at a normal speed. After I have a perfect shot of the beautiful reaction of the mech, I come to the title of the first position from max car that almost I ran, putting on a ramp, upstairs with the car, and you almost fall down with the car. The car, very nice, sign. We ran to the race, they congratulated themselves, then I ran. It's an amazing race, super reaction. So from a long time, I stopped and I had to play back immediately, discovering the interview and the races with these images. I was play back. I saw that it was in real motion.
Oh my God! How did you recover that? What did you do?
It's still usable because normal speed. You're missing all the nice things of having slow motion that is much nicer. So that no one knows, because I told you that is a mistake. But I was so angry after spending 3 hours from the grid to the last part, because a lot of things happened during. So I had a very nice from the pit lane. Also, mega thing that happens in the bed and in the good. And I was just finishing with this question. Then, okay, also the podium, that was nice. And I correct. I was angry when I did that. And yes, that was for you. Hey, stuff sometimes happen. That is, but I know that I did a mistake. A mistake that
not us.
has ruined something.
So just like you said, you might be making a mistake, but us as people who are watching it, we never see that because we have no idea.
But I tell you, I'm very angry.
I can understand. I can understand definitely. So let me ask you a question. Like, so you've been working for Formula One for so many years, and then you have met all these races, the TPs, all these mechanics, and all that. What are the
Mhm.
best memories that you have regarding all these experiences, and who have you met as one of the kindest, humble people, and who have you met as some of the not so kind or humble people at the racetrack?
If that for you, I will tell you that is good, but I will leave what is because I
Yeah.
don't think it's going
Okay.
to be very very nice. I can tell
No
you that
problem.
side I can say that only one people like so much and is not has it to you because that anyone that know him know who I'm and very very famous people. Okay, so I give you a clue that who can be.
Very famous.
Anyone else? Sometimes very.
Oh, okay. Now we
But
know.
okay. But apart is that is not something that precise. Okay, something that maybe you always have the bad view of this thing and you miss the good one, but it's something about a person, like people to people. I think you are you are outside the media, different things. I don't like this. I have to say that
Yeah.
everything else inside F1 drivers, to the team mechanics, to the catering, to everyone, is
Mm-hmm.
a huge family. Sometimes you make friends, an engineer that is in one
Mm-hmm.
2 years after is on another team, and they from they move to the other one, and also the broadcaster are basically because also of course also with the broadcaster crew because it's inside they are running everywhere, and you always see faces. And also
Yeah.
talking about the photographer that are also a lot of people doing photographer, and you have to take care of all these people because, for example, morning you do the driver arrival track and you have 25 photographers, 15 camera of the broadcaster that follow. We come, of course, but the mood is not because you are the first, you don't care for the other. I do my shoot, I try to not cut the others. I decided to 10 meters to leave you the next 10 meters. So everyone is kind of everyone else in a very professional way. But also because, you know, it becomes quite natural. If you are a professional, you know what to do. You know
Yeah.
to have, you don't need to be bad with other guys. You can do the
Yeah.
same also to you. In that case, literally, it's like being a so everyone try to be kind with everyone. Of course, sometimes
Yeah.
there are struggles, and it happens sometimes. You find a solution find half an hour ago because you just can just say, "Excuse me." And sometimes it's not so so natural in a professional environment. But
Yeah.
in this environment, it is different. I work a lot outside of Formula One, so in other
Mm-hmm.
we don't have this kind of problem, but also don't have the same kind of involving in a huge team like this one.
Yeah. So I guess the bigger the team, the opportunity of having all these issues can be bigger as well. But at the same time, with the time, you keep on seeing these people every single day in your life, and those can be settled down in a very good manner as well.
Exactly,
So
and also you make
how?
friends.
Exactly. So how do you balance your work life and your normal life?
The problem for
Haha.
me is
That's a
kind
tough question.
of, yeah, exactly. For me, it's a normal because as a document photographer, always a lot. So for period longer from 1 month to 1 year without being back home. So it depends of the production, and also in the filming you stay away a lot. With F1, for a certain point of view, it's easier. Another is more difficult because in the end you just leave the Tuesday and you're back the Monday. So basically you're not spending the time. You travel, you do the race, you come back. Unless you have a back-to-back or a triplet like in the last year, then they become a bit more difficult. And when I back from my farm, I have all my other jobs. So basically, I'm not thinking about full families. The beginning is I know many of my colleagues have families. So
Yeah.
they are very lucky because yeah.
I mean, it's not easy to balance work life in media and have a normal life at home as well. So, if there's a person who's actually good at balancing that, I salute that person.
Yeah, I'm trying in the last year because I found a person that they understands everything as it happens, and she has
Yes.
also a similar. It is a completely different environment. You know what to um, uh, and concentrate days that you are away one thing. So if you have someone that self because they have a similar, I can say, kind of job or life, then easy.
Yeah.
Event it never works. It's impossible, I have to say. Not for me, but for staying at home.
Other person, yes, because they never understand what sort of an environment that you are getting involved. Because in their normal, usual life, it's just a work that they do 8 to 5, and they can take whatever the time off and all that. But when it comes to media, it's a 24/7 sort of a lifestyle that we have. We keep on recording, we keep on editing, and sometimes you get calls out of nowhere in the middle of the night asking you to come to work to cover up a story, so you have to go. So whoever is going to be the partner should be able to understand that situation as well. So yes, I understand that part.
Yeah, but also understand that they just say, "Oh, 24 hours. You didn't have 4 hours." Only shooting when you are called because between and shoot, you're just taking a camera and going. You have
Yeah.
to plan the next shoot, to think about the shoot, you have to manage to direct people in the next shoot. So you're just taking a camera in there to shoot what is happening, doing a different kind of stuff with it up. And so it's more involved. So between the 12 hours that we are at the circuit, if you're not thinking about the next shoot or how to shoot differently, just direct do this. You do this, you do that. We try to be different. Just doing the same thing, taking the camera. During the day, sometimes you don't have the 10 minutes to write a message because your head is 10% on the track, the paddock, on the pit lane, on what you are.
So have you ever, okay, let me ask you a question like this. What are the best memories that you have achieved as a camera person in F1?
I can say that is a thing that is
We can't hear you again, Andrea. Okay, so Andrea is back. So please, just we were talking about the best memories that you have in F1 as a cameraman.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about every time I was looking at things. Here, many things have changed, and at the moment, the best one is looks like, if I'm thinking, that is more than 10 years. It looks like it's work. And I'm thinking about the next house there. So two things, and I'm pretty sure that we will get to that. So next week probably there will be a great memory. Then 1 month ago there will be another one.
Yeah. I mean, in that manner, you are very, very lucky.
Yeah. Just blocked in something. We have the
Yeah.
option and the possibility to add something and to provide what we are asked, and also to provide something new, or to try something new, to discussing with producers, etc. But it's one of the best parts also of the company. They are all.
So, what sort of a pressure does a camera person and a production team goes every single day when recording all these live programs and all that? I mean, you already explained how the whole thing is working and all that, but what if actually, like for an example, unexpected situations, like last time during F1 we saw Jorgy news accident, and during that time I'm pretty sure the camera and everything has to be like doing extra work to capture that moment, to deliver all that. So what sort of a thing do you get when unexpected situations arise?
If you take the example of Joe,
Mm.
things. So the pressure is happening, but it's changing that we are doing, because everyone is concentrated. Right, so we are already in position. So basically, we just focus in one team. So I was there, and I was in the pit lane. So I ran from the first team that I were following, so Ferrari and Red Bull, to the very end of the pit lane to see what was happening in the all the cameramen on the track were following in a safe procedures, because when there are such a big accident, not showing since you don't know that everything is fine. If you try to remember, for example, what happened to Grosjean, also I was there, I was just in front of when it's happening.
Wow.
Also the job of the team change. Of course, you feel the pressure moment, and also the danger, this sensation that is oppressing if something bad has happened. Because, for example, I remember Grosjean I saw the car splitting, and I didn't realize that the burning one that was in front of me was half of the car in. Then when I saw him jumping outside, and I saw him in the bar, that he was fine, basically, more relaxed. But that is emotional. On the other side, during the race, I have a different pressure. Some not working, a technical problem, you have a last moment that is not set, you don't have the kit you needed, the kit is shared, someone is taking what you need. The problem is that in this environment, you have and one shot. So if something is, you don't have the audio, or you are missing something, it's gone. And if it's a problem, it happened very, very, very rarely. But for example, it happened during the test. And I don't go inside the details, but we had a very nice that we did. I don't know if you remember, we did closed room with all the rooms that were rough, Albon, and who were joking themselves.
Yeah.
You remember that? We had to do that again, and huge problem with the audio, because some frequencies were in conflict with others.
Mm-hmm.
And without the audio, we didn't have the shoot at all. So that's gone. It's gone.
That's a lot
Because
of pressure that you have.
Yeah, because especially with teams with the drivers give you that time and you're not having another option.
Yeah, because there's no substitute or anything like that. It's just one time shot that you have to take, and if it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, exactly. Because they have very little amount of time to share with the media, and then they have to share with the media. Of course, with F1, they do more things, but then they have to share with Netflix, they have to share with all the other teams. The work that the press people of the drivers have to do is unbelievable. So honestly, it would be too stressful for me, but I have to take care of every moment, seconds sometimes, because if they go 1 minute late to the meeting with the engineer, sometimes they are, it's even for us.
Yeah. Okay, so what is your favorite team and who's your favorite driver from F1?
It might seem too much politically correct, but honestly, I like pretty on track, because my last support driver, the last driver that I supported was Senna and Jean, because he was in Ferrari. That was really supporting. But I always admire that reached the position in F1 and what they were doing, cars like that. But it's more like the desire to talk with them, kind of being, oh, you are my idol.
Yeah.
And you find sometimes this very young driver, and since you don't have them in front, you don't realize that they are so young. And sometimes even you start spending more time with them, you see that they are really young. They act like young people. Sometimes it's a bit confused to see, oh my God, but you are, I won't say anything, but you are this world famous, amazing F1 and very F1 driver. But I might have some characteristics that very nice people. For example, like a lot Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is a real, is really strong. So other than being an amazing player,
and he's a very cute one.
The tension. Yeah, I won't say that, but it is.
I mean, as a woman, I can say that he's a very cute one.
For example, super nice guys. As you can see, it is really as you see him. It's always funny. He's always smiling when the things were very bad. It's not a fake.
Yeah.
It's really that kind of guy. But many other, Lando Norris, Albon, for example, is a super funny guy. He's super funny. And
so you have all the insights into the F1 drivers and their characters as well. So who is your favorite team then?
Hey, so if Ferrari for sure was the first team that I was thinking to support. It's always been a name. I started following F1, following Ferrari, so I can't do that. And I've been lucky because 2 years ago I spent 2 years working for inside a Ferrari camera. So that's like the apex for me with Ferrari. But in the environment, I must say that I have friends in all the teams, and since I think that they are friends, I support their team. So basically, all the teams. But of course, my first is the Ferrari. Tuscany Italia favorite team, but also I like a red. I like the spirit that they have and how they and the life strong and energy that
I mean, even Sebastian Vettel said everyone is a Ferrari fan, even though they are not going to say it. So we have to admit it. I mean, when
Of
Ferrari is
course.
winning, no one is complaining about Ferrari winning. They love it. They love to see that red color on the top.
Yeah, a lot in class.
Tell me about. Oh my God, tell me about it. Okay, so
uh,
yes, yes, please go on,
uh,
Andrea.
now I say I was spending the race case follow Red Bull and Ferrari because they were fighting.
Mhm.
I was going down to for the job that Fernando was doing, also less, but more. And I was in the Ferrari garage when I stopped and I was astonished, and I was astonished too, so I forgot to record for the 30 seconds because I was the monitor with them. The monitor, oh no, no.
Well, on
And then
Twitter, there's a friend of
I
ours.
remember that I had to shoot it.
So I mean I understand that whole part because on Twitter this is a shout out for Vincenzo because Vincenzo is a very deep Ferrari fan, and then he tweeted that he wants to forget about it because that much he was disappointed, he was heartbroken. So I can
Tell, tell,
understand.
do, to Lorraine that last year the Red Bull same and then they won the championship. So we hope that maybe this is a sign.
Still we have still the positivity in us. It's just one race.
Yeah, the Red Bull retired first race. So maybe and they won the championship.
Okay, so this question is a very different question for you. This is called taxi, dinner, and avoid. So basically, you have to choose three drivers, one as a taxi driver for you, and one driver to have dinner with you, and one driver you would like to avoid. So, who is it going to be?
So a taxi driver could be
Mm-hmm.
not because I have a very for a low, but because a gentleman. And
Yeah.
I see him just in smoking, maybe the limo instead of the taxi. But okay, I can you and be very kind with everything. For the dinner, let me start from the team to down. But probably team one first happened. Probably it with a U
Uh-huh. Max into the party style. Okay.
party that I don't forget who we love because we much on a
And drop.
over we forget everyone else.
So whom would you
Do I get to say that?
like to avoid? Maybe a tiny clue.
You remember from the beginning of the interview? Same.
Yes, the 7 times. Okay, let's avoid that person then.
To
Okay.
I'm a bit because sometimes I always have good moment, but sometimes no. So it's just a
It's it's a mixed feeling. We can understand that. We do really understand that. Don't worry about it.
thank you.
Okay, so as an Italian person, I don't know, I will be getting hanged for asking this question because I've been asking this question from Mario Andretti to every single person who actually appeared on this podcast. So I am so sorry for asking this question, but please do answer. Pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
God, no, I need to ask this. Now, I'll tell you an inside story about.
Okay.
maybe I don't have to tell you, but before
Come on.
the of the season, so basically in February, so we had a lot of with all the do the opening sequence, all that kind of stuff. And which is fast. So we spend also an hour doing a lot of seasoning too, and some kind of also sometimes you see during some grill the grill. Ever saw that?
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff. All the games that they show during the season, really bring with points, and then the season the champion. And for example, one of the questions that I won't have that, but spoiler was they had in free of something that we were asking. For example, free Europe, something like that, and they have to say the things. The question was free pizza topping.
okay.
So 80% of the driver said pineapple. I was near myself the camera hand of because it was too much. We were so also interview say, oh, we have a you can say that, yeah, but it's not that I came in mind. Also, if I don't that, but basically only the Ferrari driver didn't say pineapple, and then a couple more. So but maximum 4 drivers didn't say pineapple.
But the rest of the people were saying pineapple on pizza.
Pineapple.
Pineapple. So we usually ask from every single person that comes over to the podcast about pineapple on pizza. And since I love pineapple, I don't mind having pineapple on pizza. But my favorite is actually the margarita pizza because I like to stick with the basics. Yes. Dream is actually to eat a Napoleon margarita pizza visiting Nepal in Italy because I once saw this video on some, I think it was on Nat Geo or Discovery or somewhere. So basically, that person was explaining that the pizza there is very different and tastes different because it's using that water that runs through the volcanoes and all that. So it gives a different taste. So I was like very tempted to try that. So until today, I'm like figuring out a way to go and actually try that pizza. I will visit that place just to try the pizza.
Well, every time that we are in Monte or in Imola, I made a real pizza place, and there is always that the try to ask the people there, and they understand that they don't say that because no one is taking funny from the place that ask, and they're looking very bad. And place Imola, that is a different culture. They want to.
I'm surprised that
outside.
So basically when you visit all these countries, you get different types of food to taste as well. So far, what were the best dishes that you have tasted in all these countries?
For me, it's Japan. I love all the culture and food. So every time we go. But every place, there's something special because, going to a place every time, we try to have our best restaurant. For example, it's near to you. So in Singapore, it's funny. We go on Indian. So in Singapore, the best Indian.
Ooh, it's not even in India. It's in Singapore that you had the best Indian.
In Singapore, exactly.
Oh my gosh. You should visit Sri Lanka, Andrea, and try those food as well.
Yeah. I'm very open to everything. So, as you say, we are in country, and almost all of us, it's nice to go because we only to and not always and if it's not too late and it's not, we always try to go to see local places, to try the local cuisine, not the touristic one, but try to look to find the very
authentic place. Yeah,
exactly.
So do you get free time actually to visit these places and all that? Do you have time apart from all these? I mean, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a very tight schedule that you guys have during the whole week when the races are up and running, because you have media day coverages, the practices, the qualifying, and the races and all that. So do you free time at all?
Now, when is a single race, we are Wednesday or we start to even other team is going there days before to set up things, so we arrive when it's the job. And if it is a single race, we go back home right after the race on Monday. Yesterday, for example, went back from evening. But when we have back to back, then yes, so we have one or two. Depends where we are staying to do something.
So at least that during that time you can go and check it out these places. Okay, do you have, this is the last question that I'm going to ask for today because we should definitely get you back over. So what are the advices that you would give to those who would love to join in and take a career as a camera person?
Camera person?
Yeah, camera person general, or people who wants to join Formula One or any motorsport as a camera person.
Okay. First part can be for the second one for sure. So the best way to become is you have to not on a school, say public school that keep you 5 years there and by yourself. To do a course, a straight course, like an academy or something like that, and then you already have the contacts to try to work with a team, because the most important thing to do this job is as experience as possible in the environment. Because if you're stuck in the same one, you will take on a second, you will never have experience to be involved in different kind of company, do something different. So it's a job for so you have to forget about being staff, have a fixed position and a safe job. That is another thing. So you're not a cameraman, you probably a studio cameraman, but you will do the same things and the same things in the same environment. You don't have to I will be a cameraman. You have to start as an assistant after spending learning on a technical course. This is what I see with also advise other people, and sometimes I had people to teach about this thing. If I'm in a films of something like that, the guys to learn. Sometimes I see that guys come, they think, oh yeah, I already do this like this like this, because at school we talk about that, but most of the time it's something possible that you only see on your feet without knowing anything about the technical aspect, our teamwork, our dynamics, and you are already cut from the environment. It's still a job in the past that you learn from. So you will never learn by yourself. You can probably be a video maker by yourself, but then it's another job. Cameraman or a director of photography. Then you learn from different people in different environments. Of this you will have, and for you to find any position that you want, because you will have the experience and the name to be shot that you will be over.
Okay, that's actually a very, very nice very good advice, because this can help a lot. Basically, to start off, if someone is well, for those who are listening with us, who are tuned in with us, if you would like to be a camera person or to be pursuing a media job in the camera field, then you should actually listen to this guy, because Andrea is an expert on that and he knows where to start and how to go. And I think you are a veterinary as well, right? I think you.
I didn't finish the university. I didn't finish that. When I started this job from the
So
beginning, as I said
you're
before,
like this. You are the
I did the
veterinary
same.
cameraman.
Yeah, not a veteran, but a veterinary camera. Veterinary camera.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Andrea. And please do tell us,
Thank
where can we find you on social media? How can we follow you? Do you have any social media places? And how do we find you?
Yeah, I'm not media, but for example, in Instagram, I put
Mm-hmm.
a lot of time pictures of doing cases or other kind of job. I don't remember my nickname in it because I really opened up the photos like and I think just writing it will be visible. But I think my nickname is KAMAST.
That will be my that'll be me who's going to follow that. First of all, that Instagram is going to be followed by me first.
You cars, cars, and my yours.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, because I know you have a very tight schedule and you were super busy. And even though that, you actually managed to give us some time so that we can have you over and have a very nice chat. And I am hoping to have you back again during the season so that we can have further more conversation regarding the work, and of course regarding your life and how you manage to do all these things and all that questions. But for now, this is it. So thank you so much for joining us, Andrea.
Thank you for asking.
So that's it for today, folks. And this is your host, Georgina Vijayawardena. Well, you guys call me Jorgy, anyways. And the boys are actually today busy, so I took over the whole episode and I loved it. I love having this conversation with Andrea. And basically, he's very funny. He has so many good stories and he's a good explainer. So I loved every second that we had him over. So thank you so much for joining us. Please do stay tuned for more episodes like this, and we'll see you soon. Love you. Mwah.